Ring doorbell cameras were supposed to make us feel safer, but sometimes they capture the exact reason why we should be terrified. This woman was just minding her own business at home when she heard the motion sensor chime. Someone was at the door. No big deal, right? She got up and started walking while checking the app and watching a man get closer to her door. She figured he was probably just trying to deliver something, but the second she stepped out, she realized just how wrong she was. This is what happened next. Who or what was that? Skeptics will call it some sneaky video editing or bad camera quality, because let's be real, Ring doorbells aren't exactly IMAX level, but something feels off about this. The way the chair moves just before the figure fades in, and the way the cup crashes right as it disappears. If this was edited, they deserve an award for it. And speaking of camera quality, if this was just a pixelated mess, how the hell did that guy go from the front door to the back garden in a blink? She even sits in the same chair to check things out. But the mystery man? Gone. A spirit hell-bent on messing with the living? Or are we just being played? There's no real way to tell, so we just leave it up to you to decide. Number 6. House rejects owner. Moving into a new house is always a gamble. Will the plumbing work? Are the neighbours cool? And, oh yeah, is the place haunted? For Christopher Aaron 9, that last one wasn't even a thought until things started happening. Strange noises became part of daily life. But one day, Chris decided to hit record, and his daughter's play kitchen stole the entire horror show. Take a look.
If you were here, if there's anybody here. Anybody in here? I heard somebody somewhere. The cat's downstairs. It wasn't her. I guess that's my sign. Any other signs? Can you open the other door? Can you open the other oven door? Will you open the other door? Thank you. Now I know you're here.
At first, everything looks normal. Chris pans across his daughter's room, showing a toy oven with both of the tiny doors shut tight. Then, we can hear a tap from the other room.
Anybody in here? I heard somebody somewhere.
So he walks away to check it out, but finds nothing. It's only when he comes back to his daughter's room that he spots something pretty weird. One of the oven doors is wide open.
Alright, no, I heard the cat's downstairs. It wasn't her.
Coincidence? Faulty hinges?
I guess that's my sign.
He gets right up close, proving there are no strings, no magnets, nothing weird attached. So, like a guy who's clearly never seen a horror movie, he straight up asks the ghost to open the other door. And guess what? It does, right in front of the camera.
Now I know you're here.
At this point, even his cat starts acting up, sniffing around the oven like it just found the gates of hell. But Chris, he isn't done tempting fate. He heads downstairs to investigate another noise and, feeling a little cocky, calls out to whatever's messing with him. "Give me something else. Anything," he said. Big mistake.
Give me something else. Anything. Okay. Are you trying to hurt me? Or are you just trying to scare me? Because I'm not scared of you. I find this really interesting. Do something else. Or show yourself or something. I want to see you. I want to know what you look like.
Boom. A broom crashes to the ground behind him, and right after, a low, guttural growl rumbles through the house.
Do something else.
Now, I don't know about you, but that's my cue to drop the phone and move out. Chris nervously laughs it off, which, yeah, bad idea, because just when he thinks it's over, the grand finale kicks in.
Are you a kid? You an older person? Come on, you gonna give me something else? Anything else? I don't care what it is. Shit.
A heavy-ass box of toys moves on its own, tipping over with no one even close to it. That's when Chris finally nopes out and shuts the camera off. Now, he swears this footage is 100% raw, no edits, no fakery, and honestly, we didn't spot any cuts either. What's wild is that when the fakers pull stunts like this, they jerk the camera around before turning so they can move stuff off screen. But Chris? Smooth as hell. No sudden movements, no chance to fake anything. And if he was faking it, he'd have to be a damn contortionist to move that stuff from across the room. Oh, and in case you're wondering, he doesn't live there anymore. So what do you think? Poltergeist? Some kind of glitch in the Matrix? Or was this just the house's way of saying, get out? Let us know in the comments.
Do something else.
Number 5. Shower thoughts. While taking a cute video of his pet rabbit, Chewy, this guy was mainly focusing on the bundle of fluff, but something else caught his attention. Something that made him question whether he and Chewy were the only ones in there.
Thought I'd make an update on the rabbit here. Got a little Chewy just kind of chilling out here. The heck? I swear the shower curtain just moved. What the heck? That is weird. What the hell? Anyway, things happen in this house all the time. All right, Chewy, I'm out of here. Say goodnight. Good night.
There are two things that make this clip even creepier and way harder to debunk. First off, no jump cuts. Nada. Zilch. Unless this guy is some kind of Hollywood level editor, there's no obvious way he could have snuck in a cheeky edit. Second, the simplicity. No dramatic reaction, no exaggerated ghost hunting theatrics, just a dude recording his rabbit, casually catching something straight up unexplainable in the background. And then there's his offhand comment.
Things happen in this house all the time.
Either he's pulling a genius double bluff, or he's just grown numb to the weirdness. Could it have been a breeze? Maybe. But explain why the shower curtain moved from inside the tub. There's no window, no draft. So what the hell just happened?
What the heck?
Number 4. Bad luck. Matt and his girlfriend were just chilling, looking for ways to kill time, so naturally, they picked the absolute worst idea possible, an Ouija session. Now, these two aren't exactly strangers to spooky stuff. They're big on randonauting, so messing with the unknown doesn't faze them.
Is there anybody here?
Or at least, it didn't, until they started suspecting that something might have hitched a ride home from one of their late night adventures. And that's when things got real.
So me and my girlfriend were messing around with the Ouija board. It spelled out the word car, and I instantly thought about my Randonaut videos. We stopped playing after that because it kind of started to freak us out a little bit. Our fingers are barely on it. It literally just spelled out car.
I'm not doing this anymore.
Just later that night at around like 4 a.m. I got woken up by something really, really loud in the next room. It is literally like 4 a.m. And I just got woken up by the loudest like crashing noise in my other room. Dude, what? What the fuck? My chair, my paintings, what the fuck? My keyboard, what? Okay, no. I'm starting to think whatever was at those Randonaut locations followed me home.
He thought those late night trips had something to do with the spirit spelling out the word car on the board.
It literally just spelled out car.
I'm not doing this anymore.
But the spookiest thing here is that they didn't close the session properly. After getting spooked, his girlfriend took her hands off the planchette, one of the things you really shouldn't do. It's fabled that not properly saying goodbye can open up a portal for spirits to stop by your home like it's their local bus station. He addressed this in the next video, and as you can imagine, things had gotten 10 times worse.
I'm pretty sure my house is 100% haunted. People were telling me that me and my girlfriend didn't close the Ouija board properly in my last video, and that we basically invited spirits into my house. We did say goodbye to the board, but at this point we already had our hands off once, and apparently you can't take your hands off until the board says goodbye back to you. We tried to use the board again to see if we could properly close the session, but we weren't able to contact anyone, and the piece never moved. And then yesterday, this happened. Okay, something just knocked over my chair again. I'm honestly getting sick and tired. What? Hello? Is there anybody here? If you're here, do something. No.
A lot of commenters theorized that whatever was tormenting Matt was actually latched onto him instead of the house, meaning he was in it for a long ride. Luckily for us, he recorded the whole thing.
So the other day I was home alone and I walked downstairs to go to my room. When I got to the bottom of the stairs, I saw a shadow-like figure sitting in one of the chairs. The shadow disappeared pretty quick, but the chair was still rocking, so I took my phone out and started recording. Again, I was home alone. There was nobody else at the house, so what you hear at the end scared me enough that I stayed at a friend's house that night. I swear to God, I just saw someone sitting in this chair, and now it's rocking a little bit. Hello? Is anybody here? Oh my God. What do you want?
The thing that makes these videos compelling is that the shaking seems to be out of genuine fear, unless he's a really good actor or that house is chilly as... It's just something about his demeanour just seems genuine. After sharing enough footage to his TikTok, people began reaching out and offering him advice. He did a few standard cleansing procedures like saging the house and attempted to remain fearless when he felt the spirit nearby. And it worked. For a while, until this happened.
I've had a lot of people reach out to me and try and give me tips on how to deal with the ghost, and I just want to give a big thank you because some of the things are helping. I did sage my house, and when the ghost is present, I'm trying to be as fearless as I can and tell the ghost to get out. The past couple days a lot less things are happening, which is good. Normally like 10 or more things happen every day, so there's a lot that happens off camera. But this clip here is one of the 2 things that happened yesterday, and that number is way lower than it used to be. I was just chilling and this light just knocked over, just randomly. Are you still here? Do something if you're still here. Get out of my house, please. You are not welcome here. Get out of my house. Get out.
It's less intense, but something is still there. Soon, the strange happenings started to impact him outside of his own 4 walls. Whilst getting on with his shift at work, he noticed a strange hooded man acting erratically outside, and it soon escalated.
There's literally somebody outside like dragging a bag at my work. No, sorry, I'm just recording in case something happens. I can't see his face. Where's he going? He's literally running down to the door. He's coming up to the door right now. See? Oh my fucking God! He's outside the door. He's outside the door right now. No, there's nowhere to hide in here. It's just this one room. The door is locked, but oh my fuck. He's like behind the building now. I don't can you just get I was working night shift at work, and the security cameras we have beep when it senses motion. It was pretty late at night and I heard the beep go off, so I went to go look at the camera. Somebody was dragging a bag right beside the building. I was pretty creeped out, so I went and grabbed the work phone and called 911. By the time I was on the phone with them, the guy walked up the road a little bit, but then he started to come back towards the building. This is when I started recording. After the video ended, he ran out of sight of the camera. I never seen him again after that. A bunch of cops came, they told me to stay in the building, and they searched the area for him. They said inside his bag just had a bunch of clothes, but some of the clothes had some blood on them, I guess. Anyways, they're gonna take that in for investigation. They took the security camera footage, and of course they sent me home that night because they didn't find him. But yeah, that's all I know so far. Hope that's a good enough update.
So he never saw the guy again, but for some reason, he left a bag full of bloodstained clothes outside his work. It may not be connected to the ghostly happenings in the house, but regardless, Matt lives one terrifying life.
Do something if you're still here.
Number 3. Ring cam nightmare. This family have their Ring doorbell acting up, random motion alerts, but no one ever there. They tweaked the sensitivity, set up trigger zones, even considered chucking the whole thing in the bin, but nope, the notifications kept rolling in. Eventually, they just brushed it off as a glitch and stopped paying attention to it. That is, until their son got curious. Like any kid with a new app, he started checking every single notification, because why not? But this time, the footage showed something no one could explain. Take a look. What the hell did we just witness? At first glance, it looks like someone or something is drawing on the windshield. But here's the kicker. No hand, no fingers, no visible movements, just a perfectly drawn curve appearing out of nowhere. I mean, if it's just the wind, wouldn't the whole thing be a mess? Instead, we're looking at something way too precise to be random. But what do you think? A technical glitch causing all the notifications? Somehow the wind managed to draw a perfect arc, or a mischievous spirit getting into the winter spirit? Maybe something playing games with the family car? No idea. But one thing's for sure, I'd be selling that Ring camera immediately. Number 2. Memory white? You never know what you'll dig up on an excavation. Ancient relics, lost artifacts, or something that should have stayed buried. That's exactly what happened to this archaeologist in India when he stumbled upon a dark cave and noticed something moving inside. Knowing none of his team was supposed to be there, he pulled out his camera and captured something downright chilling. What was that? A humanoid figure leans out from the darkness, locking eyes with the archaeologist. But here's where it gets even creepier. He doesn't remember any of this happening. The only proof that something was lurking in that cave, this footage. And just when you think it's weird enough, look again. The second that thing notices the camera, strange distortions ripple across the screen, almost like the air itself is shifting. A split second later, the archaeologist turns away, almost like he's under some kind of mind control. Memory wipe? Alien influence? Some freaky Asian magic messing with his head? Whatever it is, I'd be handing in my resignation immediately. But what do you think? Did this guy encounter something not of this world and have his memory erased to forget? Let us know in the comments. Number 1. Gut instincts. After a good few camping videos on the channel, you think there would be nothing new that could scare you about setting up a tent. But with so many old tales and legends, perhaps we lose sight of one of the scariest things of all. Brendan Explorers loves to pick up his van and drive off to new places, soaked in the culture and get comfy while still experiencing the outdoors. Soon after deciding on his camping spot, a small car parked in Dedham, Essex, he begins cooking his dinner and watching out the window. But as the sun began to set, the night wasn't the only darkness washing over the streets. Trusting his gut, he left to find somewhere that felt a little safer. And so he settled on.
On a spot, there's apparently a quiet little park up at the end here, maybe. This'll do me. I'm alone, but I mean, there's no other houses around me, so it's not as if I'm alone in a housing estate. It is literally pitch black.
Possibly one of the creepiest forest lanes in the world. What could possibly go wrong? Brendan got comfortable again and settled into bed. But as he slept, every camper's worst nightmare unfolded right outside his van.
I think someone's outside the van. Someone just tried the door. Hey! Right, whoever the that was has now gone. I'm gonna get out of here.
Goes pale in comparison to the fear you feel when you have to face up against a human threat. Luckily for Brendan, the person only seemed interested in whatever he had sitting in the front seat, rather than him, and after he shouted, the thief ran off. But if this is real, then Brendan Explores should consider himself extremely lucky. The most interesting thing though is the fact that hours before the event took place, he already had a bad feeling about camping. Amazing how the vibes can be so off that everyone can sense it through a screen.
Hey!